He doesn't have hemorrhoids. I heard you have hemorrhoids.
Yeah, so what? Most people do.
Very busy.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Right.
This is it.
It sounds like you're about to get harassed out of here.
See you guys.
So, it's an isometric, low graphic, Sims-ish survival game that's sort of like Firefly in its universe.
Huh.
It got nominated. I don't know if it got the award, but it got nominated. It was highly nominated for the Steam Independent Game of the Year. This last Steam Awards back in February or whenever they did it. Dwarf Fortress, anybody? No? Yeah. So it's like Dwarf Fortress, but fun. But part of the thing that's great about RimWorld 2 is that they have and have always enabled modding. It's a very a mod friendly game. Like they actually hired several of the modders when they're like, okay, this was a great idea. This is a great mod for the game. But yeah, it's like a weird survival builder, social simulator that's just a ridiculous amount of fun. Once you get through the first 20 hours of just bastard hard fucking initiation phase of it, just
It sounds like it's a lot like Ark, where you
kinda, yeah.
Yeah, you got you spend your first 20 hours running away from dinosaurs,
Yeah.
and then respawning, and oh shit, dinosaurs again, and then you got to run away from them, and then you can maybe start building stuff. Oh crap, dinosaurs again, and
Yeah, it's not quite that ridiculous, but I downloaded it, or I bought it and downloaded it before it was even on Steam by 2 years, because it's been in development since 2013.
Yeah.
When I got in, it was on Alpha 11 or Alpha 12, and it was still very playable.
yeah.
It was 100% playable. It just didn't have all the features.
So they made it out of alpha then, or
Yeah, so they just released it finally. The 1.0
Wow.
was, I think, in October.
that's a
most
rarity among Steam games is for them to
No,
get
no,
out
they
of alpha.
predated.
Yeah.
They predated even Steam Greenlight.
Oh, okay.
It was just Ludion Studios is the name of the studio. Tynan Sylvester is the name of the developer. He was the brainchild, the lead developer, the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was 25% of the company for the first 3 years, I think, that the game was in development.
Yeah. 'Cause it seems like most of those games on Steam right now, that all the indie games, it's the new model is to make as much money during your pre-release.
Yeah, and your Greenlight or whatever they call it.
Your
now.
early access,
Yeah. And then they don't necessarily follow up.
and then you add your microtransactions in early on, but then you never actually release.
Yeah. So for RimWorld, they, again, 5 years ago or 4 years ago when I first got into it, it was $20. It was a playable game. It had its issues.
Yeah.
There was some weird glitchy. Mostly it was just they didn't have the fucking CPU hardware at the time for all the programming. So if you tried to play it too far,
Yeah.
they just didn't have the horsepower for the game to play out.
Yeah.
And now that it's been several years, now the CPUs and everything, the RAMs, everything is caught
It's all
up,
caught up,
and it plays fine unless you download fucking 400.
all the mods.
Yeah, 400 fucking mods, which is not actually hard to do because there's a lot of quality of life or just flavor mod. There's a whole.
I imagine UI stuff and things like that.
Yeah, exactly, definitely, and then the there's a whole medieval survival strategy thing. It's fun, and just on Steam, and I definitely have had to.
I'm surprised nobody's done a medieval survival game where you're a peasant and you have to run a farm and you're gonna get sick, you'll probably die, and then that's the game.
That game does exist, but it died in early access. I can't remember what it was called, but I saw it.
Much like a peasant and died in early access.
I had it on my. I can't remember what it was called, but it's on my Steam wish list because 4 years ago when it was the first thing, I was like, okay, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it got 6 months into the green light.
It's you spend most of the time farming, and then your liege lord went to war, so now you're
and
now you gotta go fight.
And there was another one too that was kind of like that.
You get killed by a French knight.
But it was less. There was less of the like you're supporting a feudal lord, but it was kind of centered more around like colonial America.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Called Banished is the name of the game. Came out again back in like 2013, 2012, 2013. It's not a new game, but it was like a survival resource manager, kind of like a little bit like Guild. Do you remember that from years and years ago?
Vaguely.
The Guild.
Yeah.
So it's like you have, here's your town center, you build some houses, here's your farm, you resource manage. It's like a colonial Sim City sort
Yeah.
of.
That's kind of how it works.
I don't know if you ever played Crusader Kings 2. Oh, man. That is just a...
Yeah.
That one, and it's Paradox.
Yeah.
It's Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis.
That's one I haven't played yet. I haven't gotten around
There is a learning curve. It looks like a cliff.
yet. Right.
I still haven't gotten really into Crusader Kings that much. I've played it a little bit, and it's kind of fun to dick around with, but it's basically the incest simulator of...
Okay.
It isn't, but it could.
But it is.
Yeah. Because you're... In Crusader Kings, it's all about, like, the family drama.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, you're trying to, like...
It's like Habsburg Simulator.
But it's set, like, 400 years earlier.
Yeah.
But it's set, around 1066 in the Crusades. So 1066 to like 1200. And they have expansions that go back to like 900. They have like the Viking Age. But a lot of it is like trying to get your family in advantageous positions to try and expand your domain through like marriage and subterfuge.
This is kind of how it was done.
Yeah. So it was just like kind of weaponized.
That's how you did it.
Weaponizing
Yeah.
that. And then there's Europa Universalis, which is later, so 1444, I want to say. So like just prior to the fall of Constantinople, up to basically the rise of Napoleon historically.
Oh, it's big. There's a lot that went on at the time.
Yeah,
So.
and they try to simulate it all well. And it is a fucking time sink like a motherfucker.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
That game specifically is the most played game on my Steam list at like 2,000 hours over 5 years.
Wow.
It is also a money sink because I got into it early enough.
Microtransactions and all that, or
not microtransactions. They launch giant expansions.
Macrotransactions.
Yeah, so they do like $10 to $20 transaction expansions every year, 6 months to a year, and 60% of the expansion they release for free. But then
that's how they get you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the cool stuff.
It's all in there. But that's not bad though. Like I don't mind that.
And it's honestly like if it was at face value, it was probably about $200. I've actually paid like
if it's like $6
$80 over 4 years isn't terrible.
No, that's actually really good.
Because I usually wait for it to be on sale for like 6 months, or wait 6 months for it to end up on sale.
Yeah, the ones that bother me are the ones that are practically pay to win. They say they're not pay to win, but they kind of are.
Yeah.
Like games like Neverwinter.
Yeah, and
you're gonna spend between like $4,000 and $6,000 if you want to do like end game content.
Right.
And you want it, and you don't, and you can't spend 60, 70, 80 hours a week grinding.
Right.
To get there, like they say you can just grind to get everything you need for that. No, you can't.
Yeah.
Like you're better off taking a part-time job at McDonald's, putting all of your paychecks in, and you'll have time left over.
As opposed to just grinding it.
As opposed to just grinding it out.
And that's not even that bad compared to some like the first-person shooter games. Like you pre-order and you get like this gun, and then you find out later on it's a level 3 unlock. And
I mean, even one like that. So World of Warships, that they have it on mobile now.
Yeah,
I've seen YouTube. I follow some YouTube historical channels or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you sign up for, if you download World of Warships and you use our code when you sign up, you get this battleship. It's like, yeah, that's the level 3 battleship.
Yeah.
I can do that in like 3 games.
Yeah.
If I have 3 good games, like 8 if I fuck up.
Yeah.
It's not gonna take me a long time to get to this 100% accessible, non-exclusive, very easily accessible ship.
Yeah, well, like I think it was Battlefield 4. You could pre-order and you get the Colt M1911, and I was like, I love that gun.
Yeah.
Like if that's the only way to get it, and no one was really talking about the unlocks or anything, you know, online or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's one thing when it's a few bucks, but like
it's a good like
going back to Neverwinter. Like, you have, like, you know, all your gear and your enchantments on your gear. If you want to rank up your enchantments to level 14, you need coalescent wards. Otherwise, you're going to spend a massive amount of time and money increasing the rank on those enchantments.
Paradox games, they're pretty much single-player games.
Yeah.
And they're not shy about saying, here's the DLC. It costs what it costs. But you're getting the bonus content. You get some of it just because we're updating the game. Stellaris is another great example. That's also one of their Paradox Studio games, where it's Future Space Beach.
That's one I haven't played yet either.
It's fun.
Played the crap out of the Masters of Orion.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's similar, but not. There was the new Master of Orion.
It's a 4X game though, right? Stellaris.
It's a 4X grand strategy, which is slightly different than like Masters of Orion or Civ or Endless Space. I would say Endless Space is very similar to.
I don't think I played Endless. Yeah,
it's good, but it's got like the tech tree in the But Stellaris does a bit of a different thing with it. But they have these DLCs where, like, okay, you can pay $10-$20 for like content packs, and it's so Stellaris. It's sort of a 4X game, but it's more of a story builder, if that makes any sense.
Okay, yeah.
So like the early game content is very much like, oh, we're budding interstellar civilization. We're gonna go to the next star. We're gonna go to the next star. Oh, here's a little thing. Oh, we have to have we're gonna go on like a nature exploration because holy shit, there's life on other planets, so you get a quest to go find like extraterrestrial life. But then you run into just all kinds of other nonsense.
Like, why are there dinosaurs here?
pretty much.
Yeah. I think that is a subtitle to one of the subquests. Is that there's like, oh, fuck, these are basically the dinosaurs from our past.
Right.
But it's not because the dinosaurs were extraterrestrial, it's that an extraterrestrial civilization found dinosaurs and like, oh, we're going to export them to a, like a wildlife reserve.
These seem like an ultimately sustainable species. We're going to bring them to another
Or
planet.
they're just super fucking cool.
Yeah, they're just really damn cool and they brought them along. I can see that, yeah.
But, yeah, so it's got like little fun, and it's got a lot of little like pop culture references and stuff in there that they kind of gently weave
hey,
in.
Scott, people think you got hemorrhoids and stuff.
That's going on the internet.
yeah, that's definitely going
Is that
on.
what's
in there.
happening?
Oh no, you just didn't want to go home, so I decided to come inside.
No, everybody's waiting for you outside to think you got hemorrhoids or a problem, and they want to come check on
I
you.
Do you have hemorrhoids?
No,
Or like even one hemorrhoid?
like I don't want any, and
I mean,
no, I
I'm
don't
not taking
have
a
any.
mirror to his assholes.
Like, are we?
Right?
are
Yeah.
This is not
Glad it's
DLC I want to
okay.
pay for.
Maybe not soft and not hard.
Maybe you should have went with the hemorrhoids.
I guess so.
Yeah, I have
Been
to
like,
sit
I
down.
gotta sit down for a bit.
Yes.
Except it's hard to sit down, so I don't want to sit down, but I gotta sit down.
Hard to sit down till your sex
You
day.
can't win. You just can't win.
No, I'm gonna get that tattooed. ICW. I can't win.
Yeah.
And then next time we get into our argument, I'll
Just
just.
get them tattooed where your hemorrhoids would be.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Just like roll around your ass.
It's just like the stamp on the
Yeah, exactly.
bottom of a shell.
Yeah. It's like a head stamp.
I
yeah.
can't win 45 caliber.
Yeah.
That's giving me some credit. I
Pretty-
can't win 2-inch cannon.
Pretty high caliber tattoo there.
That's
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Is like
I'm glad that got recorded. I'm sorry.
He doesn't have hemorrhoids. I heard you have hemorrhoids.
yeah. So what? Most people do.
Very busy.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Right.
This is it.
It sounds like you're about to get
All right.
harassed out of here.
See you guys.
Get those hemorrhoids taken care of.
Yeah, right.
It's very bright in here.
All right, get out of here.
It's kind of the idea.
Honestly, should look see a doctor for that.
Sounds like me. Yeah, I guess you could call it the ethics of microtransactions, where you have, games, like I said, the Paradox does well, like they have content transactions. Well, they'll release most of it, and then you don't have to, but if you wanna.
Yeah, I think it's where greed comes in, that it really starts to skew the game.
Sure.
And so you get games that will, they're almost pay to win, and it's all about chasing the whales. So they're chasing down the people that have spent thousands of dollars, and then they kind of leave everybody else behind.
Right.
And one of the things I liked with like Blizzard with World of Warcraft and Overwatch is that you can spend money on things like loot boxes in Overwatch, or you can spend money, real money on cosmetic things, but none of those change gameplay. You can't just buy better equipment in World of Warcraft. You can't just buy, kind of buy levels, really, but that doesn't matter. The end game is the important part anyway, so it doesn't really skew the game for new players that want to get into it, or you're not getting left behind by people that have just dumped thousands of dollars into the game.
And that's a thing sort of in that vein too, conversely, that I wish was more of a thing that isn't, is we're transitioning to a mobile society. Like, frankly, I don't spend a ton of my time mobile gaming, but I definitely spend a lot more time than I used to dicking around on my phone.
Yeah.
And the fact
that's kind of the audience you want to capture, is the people that are like sitting there with their phone in their hand.
And so my point, I guess, is that there's not a mobile game situation that's even, like, I remember, Game Boy, for example, back in the, early aughts or whatever you want to call it, in, 2000. Yeah. So, like, Game Boy, like your Pokemon, okay, you paid $20 for Pokemon Red, and you got a 30-hour game for your $20 or $30.
Yeah.
That there hasn't really been that. I mean, sure, market study, blah, 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 whatever, but there hasn't been like a pivot really in that direction in mobile gaming. Because if I could spend, $10, $20 for a game, like,
and then just have it.
Yeah. So like, for another one that's a little bit more modern, Golden Sun. I don't know if you remember that. It was a Game Boy Advanced. It was a Final Fantasy-esque. It was very much in that vein of, top-down or Zelda-ish, a little bit more Final Fantasy top-down strategy, battle, turn thing.
Yeah.
If that was a thing where I could just, it's on my phone, I'm going to spend $10, $20, or even like, what was it, Kingdom Hearts that just came out?
Yeah.
You'll drop $60 on a game because the franchise is there. And like really,
and you're going to put the hours into it to make it worth it.
And like really like Pokemon specifically, and I get it. They're still focusing on their Nintendo exclusive releases because that's a thing that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
But if you could get a game like that, Fire Emblem maybe.
Yeah. Well, the hard part too is like getting with some companies taking an existing franchise and trying to move that into the mobile market, like they tried to do with Diablo, and it kind of blew up in their faces a little bit. Like, it didn't seem like it did all that well.
And that's...
People were just mad about it.
Yeah, and that's a thing, too, because they went from Diablo 3, which is, originally at least, PC exclusive, graphic intensive.
It launched on consoles at the same time.
I guess it did. But
it just took a little while longer for, like, when they started seasons. They didn't have those on consoles right away. So it took a while... but it launched on it was a multi-platform launch.
You're right. Yeah. And because I'm thinking of the expansion of it. But
Yeah, it took a while to get used to.
The closest to get even close to that gaming experience for what I'm thinking of, like I said, with like the Pokemon or Fire Emblem, Knights of Pen and Paper 1 and 2, which are both, I think they're $3 to $5 to buy them. They're fun. They've got a decent story. It's definitely tongue-in-cheek, like D&D, Final Fantasy parody shit, but like stuff like that, you get like a good 20 hours of gameplay out of it for like $2-3.
I really miss is the just single player RPG games.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to fucking get out.
I want some fucking Dragon Warrior again. You know, games like that. You know,
like I
want
to
the
play.
content's not there. You don't see it like most of the games
story
they tout
writing
as like sort of RPG-esque for mobile or even Facebook games. Yep. They're all the same sort of like build your castle.
Yeah, and then it's the same thing that they've been doing since fucking Farmville, basically.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's the exact same model.
Yeah, it's like you build your little thing, and then maybe you get some friends to send you some resources.
Yeah,
and then you build your thing a little bit more, and then maybe you go to war with your neighboring state. No, it's the same fucking thing that's been.
Farmville. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Like,
but like I said, like there was the last time I got a mobile game that really kind of scratched that single player itch. It was like 8 or 9 years ago. It was like the Tales of Xenonia or something like that. And it was like right when touchscreen smartphones were starting to become common, and like it had a little joypad corner and then a little AB. That's all it had, and it was just like Legend of Zelda level. Just you're going this way, you're going this way, you're going this way. AB, block, block, attack, block, attack.
This is the last time I played a game like that on my phone was using an emulator to play Final Fantasy.
Exactly, and the fact that's like I think
the last couple of times I did a run through Final Fantasy VI was on my phone.
Yeah. It's just like you'd think that
somebody would jump in on that,
right? But again, market research strategy is free to play, microtransactions. No money up front, get them in the door. But I've, over the years, so many games I've done. Okay, they're free to play. I spend 20 minutes like this is dog shit.
And then you move on.
And then delete it and move on to the next one.
Yep.
And sure, it gets your foot in the door. Maybe they get a couple of whales out of the deal. Mm-hmm. But build a decent game. Get some decent reviews. You might have to do a publicity budget on the thing instead of just spamming YouTube ads. Or fucking other mobile games. Because that's a thing where there's I think it's
you get a free play mobile game and then you get ads for other mobile games on that.
Exactly.
But I'm already playing this. I'm literally in the middle of playing this game. I don't need an ad for a different game.
But to get my bonus really for the thing, and it's going to get
and then I got to watch this ad for a game I'm never going to play because I'm already playing this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like it's in the background of the zeitgeist, like it's a lingering desire that people have, maybe.
Yeah, nobody's really going for that.
At least, maybe not for the youths, but, for like the, millennial really generation from like, 25 to 40, that is the way we gamed. Mm-hmm. You spent, and even now, like $10 for a game that you only spend 10 hours on, that's still not a bad...
That's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's still not a bad investment. Like, that's an hour, $1 per hour. It's not a terrible investment, especially considering that, 20 years ago, you would have spent, $30 on a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
That you would have spent 30 hours on, but $30 20 years ago was a lot more money than $30 now.
It is now, yeah. Especially now, like people, as far as like PCs and consoles, people drop $60 on a new game.
Yeah. That's just
without
kind of like,
batting an eye.
Yeah, $50 to $60 is just the industry standard for a full game, if you will.
Yeah.
Expecting 20 to 30 hours of single player.
Well, it's Bethesda, and then you spend $60 on a game that will
either last
work
10,
after a few patches in a couple of years.
and either last 10 hours or 60.
Yeah.
Depending on your
Depending
investment.
on where the quest gets broken, and then the game doesn't work, and then you got to start over, and then you get back to a different spot. Where.
And still, even if it was like a middle point of like, here's a $5 game that'll give you 15 hours of, and you can do a good story in 15 hours, especially if you have engaging gameplay. Like the game I've been playing most lately is Divinity 2: Original Sin. And I haven't got, there's a lot of good story, but it's also got some punishing battle play, especially coming into it with no experience in the series. About like 45 hours.
Kind of makes me wonder, though, if...
There's so much idiots out right now.
I'm just talking.
You guys are just talking. This is good talking. It's just that, like, I'm watching the ambient peaks on that, and like, juice would be going in it.
I can't guarantee that.
Yeah.
Right in that same audio wavelength spectrum.
Called mid-range. I don't know. I kind of wonder if like that's some of the driving force behind the rising popularity of tabletop RPGs. Part of it is the amount of the time for the money that you get.
Yeah.
Like you buy a book or two, and you can get hundreds of hours of gameplay out of that.
Yeah. Especially if you've got good people involved.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that I have not used, but I appreciated that they included about Divinity, is that it was definitely geared towards being able to do multiplayer if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a second person at all. You can just work your way through the story just fine, but it's very accessible. If you've got your Steam friend that also plays the game that wants to get in, it's just lightning quick to just jump in.
Yeah. And that is kind of the caveat with tabletop RPGs. That you kind of got to go make friends.
Yeah.
Or frenemies or whatever.
Yeah, and then, like I said, with Divinity, like it kind of touches on those. It's hard to really describe unless you've seen it or played it, but it's kind of it's Diablo-esque, like Diablo 3-esque. It's kind of got that
same sort of vibe.
Sort of, not in the gameplay or the story or anything, but it's got what the Diablo 3 BattleNet should have been, where you could just have people drop in and you could play together.
You totally can.
Well, now, when it first started, when you get, what was it, the Error 33 or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Where, the servers are overloaded. Yeah, it doesn't have that, and that's a thing that really turns out.
Yeah, a cool thing with Diablo 3 is like you can see when your friends are online.
Right.
Their game is open, you can just jump right in.
Right, and it's got that.
Yeah.
And you have a limit of 4, but it's
same as Diablo.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of.
Although now Diablo has gone from because the storyline, once you played through it,
you're
so now it's all about
that person is the thing, and like, oh fuck, okay, yeah.
Now it's more about okay, new season has started,
now
and so you're working your way through the season stuff. So, which does get kind of cool, where you jump in and like, okay, well, I busted ass and I got to level 70 real quick, and I'm doing my season stuff. Oh, my friend is, I see them, they're at level 30. All right, I can power level them and then like help them work through their season crap.
Yeah, so now I haven't played since fucking when it came out, 2014 when it came out, right?
Yeah, it's a completely different game now.
Yeah, and then I quit playing because my BattleNet account got hacked.
That would definitely,
so I lost my StarCraft 2, my Diablo 2, my Diablo 3 was all attached to that fucking.
That sucks.
And the email address that it was all attached to.
Did I get hacked too? Or?
I don't know. Yeah.
So at one time,
the email account, or I don't remember what it was. Point is, I haven't used that email account in years.
Yeah, I had my Blizzard account get hacked one time, and it was. I was playing WoW pretty heavy at the time, and like
my WoW account was attached to that. I attached to that too.
Yeah. But I logged in on my rogue, and he's like somewhere in Outlands, and I've got way more gold than I had, which is kind of cool. But like I had items missing and things like that, like
weird shit.
Yeah, it's just really odd, and I log in for a second, and then I got kicked. So I logged back in, got kicked again. So what was happening is the person that was logged into my account kept logging in and bumping me up. And so I changed my password real quick, and that stopped it there. But then I had to talk to them, like I had to like send them a copy of my ID and all that.
I have a ride sitting out.
Get my account back and all that stuff.
And that was the thing too, is like I'd already finished the Diablo 3 storyline. I'd finished the first StarCraft 2 storyline. So I was like, I already got the...
Did I get in there? My legs are super duper long.
You gotta like.
All those pants, they come from space. They're space pants.
Ugh.
Well,
Even my tiny shorts have stars on them.
Yeah.
So I was
Star to show.
My undershirt is
Crap, it's already after 3.
General gaming.
general gaming.
Microtransactions, sort of, but not really.
Yeah.
Or the idea of transitioning from microtransactions into viable games
that
without.
don't suck.
Yeah, games that don't suck. That
Don't have the microtransactions
Yeah, so, like,
anymore.
kind of like old Game Boy games is what I was saying. Like, yeah, I'll pay $10, $20 for a game that I can get 20, 30 hours out of.
Yeah.
On my phone.
Yeah.
Hardware supported. I don't have to fucking click on an ad button every fucking 20 minutes. Or 2 minutes.
Like with the Game Boy games and stuff, the companies that make them don't run into the problem that they had in the past with the secondary market. It's like somebody buys the game, they play the crap out of it, and then sell it on the used market.
Yep.
The company that made the game doesn't get a dime for that.
And thanks,
But
GameStop.
With digital downloads, well,
Yeah, you get your license, you get that.
you
don't
get your
have to
license,
resell
you own it forever, you can't resell it.
Yep,
Yeah.
you get it forever. You're not going to lose the cartridge,
Right?
but you also can't resell the cartridge.
Yep.
So,
It's a win-win on both sides, really.
yeah, I mean, I'd rather have it forever and
What
decide
are you going to do? Bring a dump truck full of games to GameStop, and they're going to be like, "Oh, we'll give you $10 in store credit."
Yeah.
Are GameStop's even still open?
We'll give you
anymore?
$14 if you bring in the original
I
package.
think it's like 3.
Like in the entire of the U.S. or?
They're still around, yeah.
Like 7 dirt.
Like 8 dirt. Yeah, they're still around. Yeah, so it's like, oh, you got 4 brand new Xbox Ones in the packet. Well, there's a dent in the corner, so we'll give you $12 for it.
Yeah, like I would absolutely right now pay
It's still
$20 for a Golden Sun sequel. I don't know if you remember Golden Sun from like 2005, I think.
Get into gaming until
Yeah, fair.
on console until after 2010. So I was more of the I'm going to sit there and watch people play.
So think
Person.
Fire Emblem meets Final Fantasy. That was
Ever
Golden
had anybody
Sun, sort
play?
of. It was more Final Fantasy really than anything. But
Oh no, my friend probably played Fire Emblem, but I spent most of the time watching the things and playing like the game before.
like 3 game.
Yeah,
I like
and
the
free
game.
game. Jade Empire.
Sure. Yeah, that was a good one.
I borrowed somebody's PlayStation so I can play Lunar.
But I mean, they had Fire Emblem emulators almost 15 years ago on your PC. On Windows 98, you could play all of the Fire Emblem games up to that point.
Nice.
Because that was right before they went to Fire Emblem 64. That's how I played all of the Fire Emblem games, was on an emulator that I downloaded from LimeWire.
Oh man! So you got like 40 viruses with it.
It was a garbage computer that was literally my sabotage computer. It's old, I don't give a shit, I'm using it to play emulator games.
Yeah.
You could blow it up. I could literally put a fucking firecracker in this thing and it would not hurt anything. And yeah, that's how I played it. Fire Emblem, Golden Sun, Final Fantasy 1 through 6, or 1 through 4, whatever the Game Boy NES. I think it was 1 through 4. I want to say.
6 was on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. And I honestly, after the second Final Fantasy, I quit because Fire Emblem was more fun.
Yeah.
And so was Golden Sun. Like, okay, I appreciate it for its history, but I can do it better with these ones that are. I can't even imagine how it would have been to play on a Game Boy because it was fucking torturously slow. Just the combat system, it had a speed up in the emulator that you could do it like 16 speed.
Yeah.
And like Fire Emblem specifically, because it was just torture. That's like real time for that game. So
I have watched many, many hours of video gaming before 2010. Because my favorite thing to fall asleep to was watching people play their games. And I'd be like, I just want the story.
Yeah.
And even now, I'm like, I just want the things I can press A on.
So, summarize the whole thing.
Getting sleepy.
I would like it if mobile games could enter that. I think.
Yeah, I think there's a market
is pregnant
for
the right
it.
word for that? Pregnant market where it's not even. That's not even quite the right word. Fertile, I suppose, is probably a better word for it. Fertile market where, like, I feel like that's not unreasonable.
No, I know I'd probably play more games if it didn't involve buying a bunch of additional crap.
Yeah, so like I said, no DLC, no advertisements in-game, no...
See you guys.
No unwilling multiplayer functionality. I want to access your Facebook to try and...
Just give me a mini game.
Yeah, give me $10 game. Give me 15 hours worth of story, and make it engaging. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think there's a fucking market for that.
Yeah, no, there would.
I mean, maybe there isn't. So the market studies say. That's why we keep getting fucking microtransaction, free-to-play Fortnite shit.
I think...
Like, do I have to do my fucking dance to get a free fucking game? Like, no, just...
It is already almost 3:20.
Yeah, it is getting a little late. But
It's just Dave and Noodle talking for 15 minutes. And
I mean-
Alder goes, hi, okay, bye. Like and subscribe and join us for next week. And hopefully we'll be less dead. And I'll have a bruise.